All right. Well, first and foremost, if you're a veteran, I want to say Happy Veterans Day. Always appreciative of those who have served our country. Now I was gone all weekend. I was gone, since Friday. I haven't done a podcast. I know my like 20 people that regularly listen to this may wonder what happened. I am back. Football tournament all weekend for the kids. Got some sun, burned my forehead. You can see that right there, or wherever, backwards. See that right there? This big red blotch here. That's sunburned. Standing on bleachers. Kids won the tournament, by the way. Got it all the way to the championship. Won the championship. Now, and then today, the reason I'm wearing this stupid winter hat, this beanie, I'm not trying to be like a Tim Pool ripoff. There's a cat here right there. It's because I'm freezing cold. I've been out in the woods all day. Deer hunting. Saw nothing. Look at that. I might even have some camo still on my face somewhere. I'm trying to get it off. Out deer hunting all day. Sat in the woods. Saw nothing. And now I'm frozen. Because it was blustery. Oh, I noticed my Halloween cat still there in the background. He's pretty cool though. My vintage Halloween cat. I'm a historian. So, like my vintage stuff. I'm a collector myself, so he's pretty cool. Now, speaking of collections, I want to show you something here. Look at this baby, this cuteness. Okay, hey, Pepita. Hey, look. Yeah, this is Pepita, pumpkin seed. She's a Halloween grab. She's a which is why the pumpkin seed name is there. Somebody had actually chucked this little thing from a car. I've done foster cats forever now, several batches of them, and I know that story is more common than she's giving herself a bath. She's trying to act casual. This is what cats do when they're like embarrassed. They want to act casual, like, I'm just giving myself a bath right now. Well, you hold me like this. But yeah, so it's more common than you think, where pets get whipped from cars when people don't want them anymore. She's the sweetest thing. You can hear her purring. Listen to that. Yeah. She is gonna get fixed next week, and then she'll be up for a new home, won't ya? Yeah. So just wanted to show you that. And if you think she's adorable and you want to show her some love, look at her. You should like my video, subscribe to my channel. Ow. Give me a like. Share. Comment. Show people that would be interested in my channel. Now, back Monday, I was kind of off in La La Land all weekend because of things going on. I can't sleep in hotels, so I was burning on like no sleep. Tried to keep up with the news. This morning, I got up at 5 a.m. to try to write my newsletter. Didn't get it done in time before I had to leave to go hunting. So yeah, that's missing today. But I'm going to have it out tomorrow morning. So if you subscribe to me on my link below, check that out when it's up. The website is going to, that's historyonaWhim.com/join-or-die, all one word. That's going to be more of just my generic news writing stuff. So if you're interested in that, check that out. Now, today I just saw this notification here. Actually, I didn't set up my browsers yet on OBS, so let me do that right quick. Let's see here, make this widescreen. Look at her. Look at my little cat parrot, all perched up there, all adorable. I mean, come on, who couldn't love this little thing? Doing foster kittens is a lot of fun, but it's also very hard because you have to give them up. I have only had one foster fail, and it was a story where the cat had been with me for too long, and I had his sisters. I gave his sisters away as a pair, and it was like, if I give you away like by yourself, that's not fair to you because I've had you for so long. He was pretty sick, so now he's mine forever, and he's an awesome cat, so no regrets. But doing the foster thing sucks because you got to give him up in the end. But it's also a lot of fun because you get to like do cats. I'm a crazy cat lady. My wife calls me that. So So this just in here from Decision Desk HQ. Republicans are projected to win the control of the House, which they needed 218 to maintain control. Now, that's not the official call at this moment, because if you look at the AP, I'll show you here in a sec here, House elections 2024. According to the, I believe this is the AP, but yeah, it's the AP, so they've called 418 out of 435 of the races. Pepita, what you doing up there? What you doing up there? So you see here, as of this moment, this is 9:46, Monday, November 11th, 2024. The Republicans, here, let me make me a little bit smaller. Rotch there. Republicans currently control 214 seats to 205 of the Democrats. Democrats have been slowly trickling up, but as of right now, if you see this here, Washington is a guaranteed Republican, because this county in Washington, because there are only 2 Republicans running, which I thought was rather interesting. You got this guy down here in California. They only counted 61.6% of the vote. Like, what? Same with this, 70, well, not quite that bad, but 76% of the votes counted here. You got, so it's 1 Republican, 2 Republicans, 3 Republicans, 4 Republicans here. Yep. And we're getting there. 5. So, I mean, and then this is, this vote here in, this one in Iowa should be called soon. I mean, it's a really close, look at this, like 1,000 votes, which is crazy for an Iowa county, but because Iowa's always just goes red. But so yeah, we're still kind of hanging in the balance here of seeing what's going to go on. This is insane. It's insane that it's taken this long. I mean, look at this. This county, or this seat in Arizona is it's at 86.6%. Oh, then you got Alaska, which looks like it'll be Republican. But like this race here is just 5,000 votes apart, and I mean, it's close. It'll be close. And you got this little blip here. Look at this little guy in Colorado. This one's just a few thousand votes apart. I mean, these are close races. So what's going to happen with these close races? Well, will they get recounted? According to the Kamala Harris campaign, they are seeking money. Here, let me let you down. Here, why don't you go play with the kid? Why don't you play with the other cats? So here, let me show you this here. According to Newsweek, Kamala Harris is fundraising. Her fundraising is going towards a recount. Donations to Kamala Harris's presidential campaign are now being partially redirected toward a vote recount effort. When users go to donate to her campaign on ActBlue, they split the money up. So the first like $41,300 / $15,000 from a person or a multi-candidate committee will be allocated to the DNC. They pissed away a lot of money on this campaign, and the next $3,300 to $5,000 from a person or PAC will be allocated to Harris for president's recount account. Now, it doesn't really say what they're going to recount. It sounds, if you hear this line here that says Harris for president's recount account, one would think that means that it's a presidential recount, but Kamala Harris got beat like so soundly in this election. I don't know if that would be the reason. Probably the closest race that she could ask for a recount in, which I have no issue with asking for recounts, is Wisconsin. Because there are like some regulations where they automatically recount, or you can automatically request a recount if they're within certain margins. But I mean, let's say that it was like, oh, Wisconsin was counted wrong. I mean, it makes no difference whatsoever as far as the presidential election goes. See here, 30,000 votes in Wisconsin. She did concede, obviously, so because there is going to be a peaceful transfer of power. It's amazing how they were okay with peacefully transferring power to basically Hitler. And it's okay if Democrats want to recount votes. It's not okay if Republicans want to do it. If Republicans want to recount votes, it is literally sowing distrust in our institutions. But when Democrats do it, it's okay. Now, my personal take on this is yes, you should absolutely be able to recount votes and request recounts and investigate shenanigans, and you should be able to settle any, any uncertainties whatsoever surrounding elections. If there are any concerns from the American people, they have every right to voice those concerns. It is not against the law to say, hey, maybe these elections aren't as secure as we think they are. There's nothing wrong with that. That's not against the law. It is protected speech. And there's no law in this country that says you have to speak in such a way as to, voice your approval and sow more trust in our institutions. There's nothing illegal or against the law about sowing quote unquote distrust in our institutions, which our institutions have done a very good job of ruining their own reputation, completely far removed from anything we have said or done. In that light, this could fall under the purview of recounts for House elections, which have been pretty close, which they tend to be. I'm sure they'll want to recount in like some of these more red states. I'm sure, California taking 100,000 years to count votes. They probably won't want any recount. They will not want any recounts there. But it's just so dumb. It's dumb that it's taking California this long to recount the votes. To count the votes, period. It's taking California, it's not even, they're not even, what did that map say? These places in California have counted 61.6% of the vote, 76.6%, 74.6. I mean, come on. How long could it possibly take? The Senate elections have all been called. Interestingly enough, I don't understand the whole thing in Michigan. So Michigan largely went red in every regard. The presidential election, it went red. The House elections, it went, I don't even know. Of course, your typical blue counties like Genesee County up by Flint, Wayne County, Oakland County, where all like those like uppity liberal types live. And then you got Grand Rapids area, like those places went blue, which they always do. Cities always go blue. But to have most of it go red, the Senate is so close. I'll show you this Senate race here in Michigan. Whoops, wrong browser. I'm burning on a few hours of sleep. It's been a long weekend. I got to get back into it here. So you got this here. Slotkin wins by, tight margins. Of course. I can't stand her. So Alyssa Slotkin is the ultimate like neocon / leftist radical type. She'll pretend like she's a moderate, like she votes. She's open-minded and she's willing to be more balanced, and she votes with what the people want. But then she just toes the party line and votes with whatever they want. It's complete crap. And then she had these really cringe, awful commercials for the these political ads that were just torturous to listen to. It was like this inspiration, cheesy music about how like she was inspired on 9/11 to serve. It just shut up. Like this whole fake political pageantry crap has to end. It's pathetic. It's so lame. Nobody believes it. Okay, the Bush era / Obama era of politics is over, everybody. Nobody buys your crap anymore. Anyway, that's just an aside. So, yeah, House elections, according to Decision Desk HQ, we are on the brink of Republican control. So what does this mean for everything? Well, as of right now, Donald Trump is trying to put together the cabinet that he needs to get his things done, his agenda done. Because in reality, you may have the majority right now, or come January, but that's not for a very long time. Almost immediately upon taking office, you're going to watch the other chunk of people in the House, in the Senate, scrambling to partake in their elections. One second. So basically, you're going to jump right into midterms, at least prepping for them at the get. That means that there's a very short period of time. Plus, if Trump stalls at all, and makes any bad decisions, really, when it comes to appointments, the whole thing is squandered. They did have a majority in all three, in the House, Senate, and they had the presidency in 2017 and did nothing with it. Now, of course, we know that's not because it was a Republican majority. It was just the rhinos had control, and it was people that were always going to be. The heck is going on? I'm watching the Dolphins-Rams game. Man, what do these games always suck? These you would think this would be a good game. It sucks. But those people that were in this majority back in 2017 were always going to be counter to whatever Trump was, right? And Trump has to make wise decisions. He needs good staffing choices this time. You can't have people in there that are going to be trying to salvage what's left of the political establishment. This election was one thing and one thing only. To me, personally, it was not a Trump win. I don't care about that. I don't really care about the presidency. What this means to me, though, is the presidency is a big deal, but he's not a monarch. He's not a king. Going and getting things like the Senate, getting things like the House. This is the American people showing Washington that they are done. The American people are done with the establishment. They're done with the Obama era type politics. They're done with the Bush era politics. They're done with the post-Cold War crap. They are ready to move on to a new phase of American politics where the American people are put first. They don't want any more censorship. They don't want any more government oversight. They don't want any more regulations. They don't want any more of this political elite garbage that they have been suffering under for literal decades now. And to me, that's the most exciting thing about this, is that those people that have lied us into every stupid decision we've made, they've lied us into wars. They were wrong about everything when it came to the pandemic crap, wrong about, they're terrible on economics, terrible on policy. They have divided us. They've blown our money. They think we have an endless supply of money. They can just print it and it has no repercussions. Well, those days are done. This is a rejection of that. So far more than it is Trump won, to me, it is that the regime, the establishment, got outright rejected. It is the very regime that has been crushing my life as an adult. So, I'm born in the 80s, child of the 90s, came into my own, went to college to get a good job. Like I was told, nothing has ever worked out like they told me it was going to work out. And the future of this country is being, squandered just for get-rich-quick schemes that don't actually pay off. So these people got rejected. And this moment is your one tiny little split second of an opportunity to do away with everything. Now, the things I care about most, more than anything on earth, okay? This is all that matters to me. Of course, things like immigration, fix the border, cool. That's a big part of it. But to me personally, I am like, my sacred, inalienable natural rights are what matter more than anything. More than any political party, more than anything else. And most and paramount to all that to me is my right to free speech. That's all that I care about more than anything. Like if I put this video up on YouTube, they're probably gonna shadow ban it and censor it and nobody will see it. That's crap. You know, what's going on with X right now is huge, and I want them to fight back when it comes to these global pressures to shut down our ability to speak freely. I saw something like JD Vance threatening to withdraw from NATO if they try to put pressure to censor Americans on social media. Like, that is fantastic. Give me all. I'm here for all that. That's all I want. I want my right to speak freely. I want my right to earn a living, via the internet while carrying my viewpoints. I'm a staunch libertarian, and like the internet doesn't like that. They don't like the free speech thing. They don't like people that want to push back against the regime. They don't like people that are against the security state, surveillance, moderation. I don't like any of that crap. And if they could, if this one thing that the Trump administration could do is go after anybody in government that thinks it's okay to censor anybody that has a dissenting viewpoint, and go after social media companies who are crushing free speech. That's all I care about. Yep. Oh, they're a private company. I don't care. It's if it's a private company, then they have to go both ways. Like you're talking about, in this day and age, you are silencing the right of people, their constitutional rights to free speech. Great. I have a cat outside the door crying, and the problem is he doesn't like the little kitten, and I have to keep the little kitten in here with me in order to keep her from getting, into crap out there. So great. And we're gonna have to hear Wit making noises out there. So that's all I care about. The social media thing. It's like, yep, you're a private company, you can do your thing, but like then you don't deserve the protections that you get from social media and also the internet. The internet just, it censors people. It squashes search engine results for anything that's considered a dissenting opinion. I don't want any. I want that all gone. That's all they care about. And anything in the government that's going to go after things like disinformation, misinformation, go after dissenting opinions, go after free speech, I want that crap gone. Like, and I think that anybody in our government, in our bureaucracy, that has partaken in that deserves to lose their job. You're violating the most sacred right in this country. So when it comes to having a majority in the House, the Senate, the presidency, that better get done. Like, that's all I care about. That better get done. But man, does it feel good that the election's finally over. It's finally over. And people rejected it all. They rejected the whole thing. They rejected Harris. They rejected the establishment, which kind of brings me to the next talking point here. What the hell is going to go on with the Senate crap? Because we are at an impasse here where, the great neocon piece of crap that is Mitch McConnell is stepping down from, being the Republican majority, the Republican Senate leader. And you are up to this point where you have, let me pull the top of it up here. Right here. So you have, of course, John Thune and John Cornyn of Texas. So John Thune of South Dakota, John Cornyn of Texas, or Rick Scott of Florida. The only one that it would be perceived as a true Trump ally would be Rick Scott. But of course, that's not that's not what the rhinos want. That they want Cornyn or Thune, who are both Bush era Republicans. Cornyn, of course, being like practically a Democrat. This is why Republicans suck. They suck so royally bad. Why there needs to be a new party. Because a big chunk of the Republicans in office don't give a crap about the American people, as do most people in politics. But Like this opportunity, they don't care about it. These people don't want this opportunity. They don't want to take advantage of this opportunity. They want things to stay the same. Someone like Mitch McConnell wants things to stay the same. He wants to keep up the neocon crap. He wants to keep up the war funding. He wants to keep up the elite political establishment. He wants that to maintain the status quo. And so he wants to put people in power here that are just going to continue the same crap. These people have to go, and they have to go now. You have this one golden opportunity here to get away from all the terrible things that have been happening within our government, to get away from government overreach, to get away from censorship, to get away from crushing your constitutional rights, to get away from the wars, to get away from the destruction of this country. And then you got these people, these freaking tumors, these cancerous tumors inside of our government that don't want to let go of that. And they call themselves Republicans. It's people like Liz Cheney, who's a Republican, right? These people are the problem. And if somehow one of these idiots, these rhinos, they get the nod to run the show, this was all for nothing, probably. And Rick Scott, like, it's got to be the guy. I'm so tired of this. I'm so tired of these Republicans. I'm sick of them. They suck. They're awful. They just continue to do this crap. It's the same people that will like cry and complain about the evil Democrats and do nothing about it when you finally have an opportunity to do things about it, to do things about government overreach, regulations, spending. You have this opportunity to take care of these things, and you're going to have these people get in the way. It's typical, right? It's typical. You're like, oh, finally, there's hope for the future. We are rejecting all this crap, but oh wait, there's these people that are allied with the Democratic establishment. Cool. Just what we need. And what will happen is it'll just destroy any hope we had of accomplishing anything, while also just making things continue to suck. So people will be like, oh, well, it didn't solve any of our problems. They have to move quickly on this. There's a whole thing with the recess appointments right now. Trump required anybody to be considered for a leadership position within the Republican parties, within the Republican Senate, had to be willing to go along with his recess appointments, which good for him. But of course, so here we go. Let me show you the grand moment of the morning for me when I woke up this morning was this story from the great CNN, who has learned absolutely nothing from what just happened in this election. Now, this article stated this is from CNN Politics from today. Trump is already wielding power and causing massive disruption. God, CNN is such a joke. Such a joke. I don't understand. They can't internalize and learn anything. Now, the big pushback here is Trump doesn't want. This says here, Trump's decisions herald a new administration infused by outsider populism rather than conventional power brokers. So I don't know if you saw this, but Nikki Haley and Mike Pompeo were ousted. Thank God. Exactly what Trump needs to do. He hopefully learned his lesson. Actually get rid of these swamp creatures. Of course, they're obsessed with Elon Musk. The media cannot get enough of obsessing about Musk almost as much as they obsess about Donald Trump. And here we go, everybody. Poor federal workers are dreading an expected purge of career bureaucrats by Trump allies, keen to install political appointees who will not hesitate to carry out orders that could shred the regulatory state and central government authority. Oh, no. Like, this is what CNN is sad about. They're sad about ridding us of useless bureaucrats, so that way the people that we actually elect will have more power than the unelected bureaucracy. God forbid. Like that's the thing that blows my mind is the people that these establishment types, these Democrats, like they like the idea of a centralized authority. They like the idea of bureaucrats. Like, I just don't understand why you like that idea. Like, CNN's trying to sell you that this is dangerous to get rid of useless people that you pay their salary, and they use it to go after people that disagree with them. Yes, please purge federal workers who do nothing but leech off the system that we cannot afford to drop another dime into. Poor baby, if you lose your useless, worthless government job or you do nothing. Especially leaders who are willing to just weaponize the government, knowing there's nothing you can do about it. Now, yes, please shred the regulatory state that is stifling any innovation in this country, making it next to impossible for people to survive in many industries. CNN blows my mind. Blows my mind. They're complaining that he rejected establishment political types. And then he wants to have control over the Republican Party. Well, listen, that's kind of how this traditionally worked, is whoever the president of the United States was, whether you were a Democrat or Republican, whatever party you considered yourself a part of, you were often seen as the leader, which is not something we've seen over the last several years when it comes to how things have worked in Washington, especially from the Democrat. Oh man, I'm having cat drama here. So yeah, you're having all these issues. You know, this is a problem to want to have somewhat of a say over your political party, who did nothing last time but try to crush anything you tried to accomplish. Hell, people in your own political party were voting you out of office based off bullshit, right? They were coming up with bogus, reasons to impeach the guy. It's just like the nerve of CNN to think that is a threat, because the Democrat Party especially doesn't operate that way. They march in lockstep with some entity that nobody knows what the hell it is. How is it that everybody in the Democrat Party will vote the same way, think the same way, talk the same way, the messaging is the same when it comes to the media? Why is that? Where does that messaging come from? I'm honestly curious, but I'm kidding. So yes, things have changed to the point where it's like, oh, we don't have are the people in office, are they loyal to the president or are they loyal to something else? And I think the establishment likes this idea of them being loyal to this weird centralized authority entity thing that nobody knows what the hell it is. So CNN continues. That's a problem. Wanting to have a hold over your party. Retribution. Now, it's just so ridiculous. House Judiciary Chairman Jim Jordan insisted Sunday on CNN's State of the Union, I don't think any of that is going to happen when it comes to retribution. We're the party who's against political prosecution. We're the party who's against going after your opponents using lawfare. Yes, but people that use positions of power to go after private citizens and crush people who have differing viewpoints, you deserve to at least lose your effing job. Sorry, you don't deserve to just be in power forever and have unchecked power. this whole idea of like locking people up. I don't know what the hell's going to happen, but if you deserve to be locked up, you deserve to be locked up. If you deserve to lose your job, you deserve to lose your job. There's not a single human being in our government that has any right to crush your voice, crush your opinion, tell you what you can and cannot say or think. There's nobody in politics that's allowed to do that. Nobody in bureaucracy that's allowed to do that. So piss off if you think that you deserve to just skate by, because you are the problem. You are ruining this country. People in the bureaucracy and in our government who are willing to just overstep what they were ever allowed to do, and they use that to go after people that threaten this big blob of an organism, then piss off. You deserve to at least get kicked out of having a position of power. See you later. I have no sympathy for you at all. If you're a person in Washington and you use your job to censor conservative voices, which is illegal for you to do, then bye. I have no sympathy for you. Foreign leaders scramble. Of course, he'll ignore NATO's core principle of mutual self-defense or compromise. Mutual self-defense. NATO is the biggest scam when it comes to foreign policy, anything. We are the world's military. You're supposed to pay a certain percentage of your GDP to be a part of NATO. Guess what? No other country effing does. You know who pays for all of it? We do. So, yep, it's part of a power thing where you have to go, okay, well, I'm, we'll be in control of your military, but we get, unfettered power abroad, right? But God forbid we don't pay for all your stupid, pointless proxy wars and all this endless crap. We don't pay for your defense. We don't piss away all this money on nothing. That's a problem, right? And I do like the idea of J.D. Vance saying, hey, listen, if you want to censor Americans, you want to threaten to lock Americans in jail for talking crap about the UK and stuff like that, well, then fine. We won't pay for your defense anymore. That's what needs to happen. Literally. Like, when Elon Musk was really kidding. When Elon Musk was going to interview Donald Trump over a Twitter space, X space, whatever the hell you want to call it. Can we just decide on what the hell it's called? Like, everybody's like, oh, Twitter X. Like, I don't know. X doesn't flow. I'm sorry, dude. Like, I know it's your thing and you like the letter X, but it's like, not, it just doesn't sound good for a social media platform. But anyways, he had an X space, let's just call it, with Trump. Very popular thing. Millions and millions of people watched. We got a letter from the EU before threatening to basically go after X if they did not cancel the interview, basically, and censor speech on there because it violated the European Union's little pussy rules that they have for speech, because everybody there, because the European Union can't handle anybody that dissents against them. But guess what? They're the great democracies of the world, aren't they? We got to back up our fellow democracies who like to lock people away for having opinions that they consider wrong. But, we can't say words for little pussy ears to hear. So, that's what happens when, so what should happen there is then you should F off then. You're trying to tell us how to run our companies and how to police our speech. Then we're not going to pay for your little defense anymore. Sorry. Oh no, then maybe all the things the Democrats hold in such high regard from Europe will no longer happen. Like, oh, your precious universal health care that you get to pay for because you don't have to pay for any of your stupid defense. We spend most of our, well, no, not even close. We spend most of our actual, our yearly budget on military spending, but like a huge portion of the crap that we spend money on goes towards unfunded liabilities like Social Security and Medicaid and Medicare. Those are things you get no return on, but defense spending is a huge chunk. We spend more money on defense spending than any other country in the world by a long shot, and that's because, we have to be everybody's big brother and come in and save the day. Well, then piss off. You don't deserve to have my freaking money. My defense. If you're going to try to tell American leadership and American companies what they should do with their platform. See ya. Oh, well, then you can't have X here. Okay, well, then you can't have our defense. Oh my goodness. You are biting so hard. Look at this. Look at this little sausage here. This little biting sausage. You're biting, you know that? It's not nice. You bite way too hard. You bite way too hard. Look at her. Look at this cute face. Look at this cute face. You're purring very loud too, but you're biting way too hard. So foreign leaders are scrambling. Well, also lots of good things seem like they're happening. You know, there's been moves already made to, you know, Hamas may be open to a ceasefire, and Ukraine and Russia might be able to come to some sort of an agreement. And, you know, there's just already, you know, there's already a talk abroad of people, you know, they're going to take Trump way more seriously than they ever would take Kamala, and they way more than they would ever take Joe Biden, who is still president, by the way. Very odd, right? So CNN still suffering from TDS. And what was most interesting to me about this wasn't necessarily just their opinions, which typical of CNN to have those opinions, of course, right? It's CNN. But not even a week ago, CNN and their candidate, Kamala Harris, got trucked in this election. I mean, they got blown out. Okay, like it was not even close. Okay, will you stop biting me, please? You're biting way too hard. Okay, go beat up another cat then. We have other cats to beat up. I don't deserve this treatment. The hands that feed you are literally getting eaten off, getting gnawed off by kittens. But CNN and their precious Democrat candidate, they lost. They were handed an epic L. It makes you really wonder, are they going to change their tune at all? Because the American people were the ones that should have shown them exactly what they needed to see, and that their crap doesn't work anymore. What are you doing? What is that? No, you don't need that. Hold up. They're not going to learn their lesson on this. They're just going to continue to push the Trump bad, Trump Nazi, conservatives bad. Trump's just trying to wield unchecked power. Trump's trying to, you know, ruin everything. He's trying to disrupt our precious institutions and disrupt the way we do things. Good. I hope he does. Because the way we do things is terrible. It sucks. And if that means wielding power to get rid of the crap that, you know, the crap system we live under, great. I want the people that surround him to give him good advice, and we can rebuild this thing that is an American-based, America-focused enterprise. I want him to cut the number of bureaucratic jobs. I want him to trim back regulations so it's more enticing for people to manufacture and, you know, and go after natural resources in the United States of America. I would like that. I would like that to happen very much. I want him to go after the bureaucrats that think it's okay to spy and censor and all that stuff. I want them to go after, you know, I want this stuff fixed because the future of the country depends on it. And if you do nothing about this, then this was all for nothing. Like, I'm talking if you do nothing about this, if you hesitate at all, really, you're asking for this all to be for nothing. And if you do nothing about this, it will just set a precedent that they can continue to do whatever they want for the future. I just hope he doesn't try to play ball with the establishment. What is the point of that? You tried to play ball with the establishment last time and they tried to throw you in prison. People tried to kill you. They tried to, you know, they have you tried for all this bullcrap, like, oh no, he's a felon and all. You know, I still see the stupid billboards. I drive by, I see Kamala Harris's billboards are up, and it's like 34-time convicted felon. You know, the people you tried to play ball with did that to you so they could paint you as a felon so nobody would vote for you or you wouldn't be able to run. Fortunately, the American people saw it for what it was, which is just bullcrap. But, you know, you do have to wonder what the benefit of playing ball with the establishment is, because even when the argument is, oh, well, they'll let you live. Well, guess what? Someone still tried to kill you. So I don't know what else to tell you. You know, at this point, like, you know, they gave you a mandate and you need to abide by it if you want to, you know, ever have some credibility ever again. All right, so let me jump on into some other stories here. Now, according to Breitbart, the election has actually split the Democrats between the radical leftists and the establishment Democrats. Now, it says here that Democrats appear confused about why Trump won re-election in a landslide and moved 48 states to the right in the process. Now, some of them argue, thus, you know, the far left argues, the party did not move far enough to the left. Well, the establishment Democrats argued the push for far left policies failed to attract voters. Who is right? I would say a tiny smattering of correctness comes from the establishment Democrats, and I do not think they are right about anything. But I do think that the far left policies, you know, I don't agree with them on anything other than this idea that the far left policies did actually harm them. The obsession with things like identity politics, the obsession with things like, you know, your like the absurd level of extremism when it comes to climate agenda. You know, their the open immigration, you know, open border crap, like a lot of these left policies, you know, what's going on with education and all that stuff, what's going on with going after kids with, you know, weird sexualized creepy stuff like this. Like, you have, that is going to be a deterrent for a lot of people, especially cultures that are traditionally more socially conservative. Talking like, you know, Latinos and the African American community and stuff. I think a lot of them don't buy into the far left crap. You know, maybe, I don't know, you know, like the identity politics stuff has benefited no one. It has made the industries where identity politics has become central to it worse. Look at our military, look at industry, look at like the airline industry. Okay, come here. Pepita, come here. Come here. Oh my goodness. What am I going to do with you? What am I going to do with you? Look at how cute you are. Look at how ridiculously cute you are. Do. Look at this little nose. This little nose has road rash. Well, not anymore. The scab fell off, but she burned her little nose off. And somebody whipped you from a car. Sorry. I don't want to make you relive your trauma. But, you know, that stuff didn't help. But also, I don't think that they have any idea of what really caused them to lose the election. They're not looking inward. You in general did. It was the constant crap, the Nazi stuff, calling half of America Nazis, calling half of American fascists, calling half of Americans racist, calling them, you know, all this stuff. That was the whole game for the Democrats. On top of the radical leftist stuff for a lot of them. There's a reason why Kamala Harris, when she ran in 2019, was trying to run as the most radical Democrat political candidate for the presidency. And why, when she was selected as the candidate, she literally turned her back on every position she stood on as that candidate back in 2019. Because they're trying to strike a balance. They're trying to appear more moderate, which is hilarious how you can just reject all the things you claim were your principles and just move on like that. Oh, brother. Oh, no way. I'm watching this Dolphins game. So many crazy things happen when I look down. But they are going, this is perfect because it's split them apart. They are fighting within themselves. There's just that there is this thing going on right now with the leftist media where they're acting like she ran a flawless campaign, and she only had a short period of time. So she could do no wrong. What could she do? She did the best she could do. She raised all that money. She ran a flawless, perfect campaign. She didn't. No, she didn't. What caused them to lose the election? First of all, you alienated half the American voters, and you told everybody who cared about things like the economy, inflation, immigration, ending the wars, anybody that cared about that kind of stuff, you called them racist, fascists, misogynistic, whatever. You insert whatever term you want to come up with there. That was the way they talked about those people that were detractors on those positions. Okay, you were going to fall off. What are you doing? Kittens, man. Such a handful. This one just purrs. Listen to her. All she does is purr. Purr, purr, purr. Don't you? Look at her. Oh. So, you're got an itch. So they are not looking internally and say, oh, the reason why we lost is because we didn't talk enough about the economy. We didn't talk about the crap we did wrong. We just pretended like everything was great. We pretended like the economy was great when it wasn't. So people were like, okay, well, this is clearly, there's something up about this. You just told people they were stupid for thinking otherwise. And yes, the far radical leftist crap didn't help, but also the establishment position from the Republicans and the Democrats is just demonize Trump. Demonize. He's evil. He's Hitler. He's a fascist. And if you support him, that's what you are. You wonder why you lost the election. That's it. And the Democrats are going to be split over this issue, but you're not going to figure anything out here by looking at it this way. Like, you have to actually internalize. Just like that thing I read from CNN, they're still on the same exact narrative they were prior to the election. It's not going to help them at all. So, yep, you're going to continue to be split up, but you'll have a lot of thinking to do. And if you want to continue down this road with the whole Obama era crap, I wouldn't expect to win any more elections anytime soon. Obama got soundly rejected here. According to Obama, he blamed, what is this article? It says that he blamed, so AOC and Joe Scarborough blamed Hispanic and black voters, called them misogynists. A second theory suggests the loss had nothing to do with Trump and more to do with Democrats being victims of inflation. A theory pushed by former President Barack Obama and his former staffers. Oh, that's what it is. Hey, Obama, what causes inflation? Who's the victim of inflation? You're the victim of what caused that? What caused you to be a victim of inflation? I don't know. Maybe it was years and years of useless government spending, of which you were very much a proponent of and very much a big part of. Barack Obama, you're not cool anymore, man. People don't think you're cool anymore. You came across as the hold on. I need an energy booster to go on my Obama tangent. Obama lost his touch. He has lost his influence. I remember when he spoke at the DNC this year, people were so refreshed just to hear him speak again. Oh man, we miss the Obamas. Why can't we have the Obamas back? And then Obama went on the campaign trail for Kamala Harris and he blew it. He alienated black men by calling them misogynistic for not wanting to vote for her. he did the thing where all he did was demonize Trump. All he did was go up there and talk about what a piece of crap Trump was. You know, I don't know. He tried to be cool. Like, there was at some point, what did he say? Something about his like playlist. Like, if his music was on there, like, if you're worried about our music, then Trump's. And it's like, okay. Like, because you're so cool, dude. Like, Obama thinks he's the man. There was somebody that knows him saying that the George Clooney thing, like, Obama thinks he's super cool because he hangs out with George Clooney. Remember, George Clooney is also the same guy that wrote that op-ed in the New York Times that told Biden to step down. And now the Democrats are blaming George Clooney for losing the election because, you know, Biden just would have done a bang-up job. But Obama is not, he's just not cool anymore. Sorry, dude. And when you were up there just preaching away about why people should elect Kamala as a way to save democracy and the way to save, you know, and to have moral superiority, like, you just came across as pathetic. You really did. You looked desperate and pathetic. And I just think you're not that cool anymore. Sorry. The days of, you know, the post-Bush era is over. You are no longer the cool guy in the room. Now, this story, interestingly enough, so I was talking earlier about how Kamala Harris is raising money to question election results, which we were told for the last 3 years now that questioning election results sows distrust in the very fabric that is this nation. And if you question election results, you are violating the sovereignty of other Americans by crapping all over the democracy that is the United States of America, and you're sowing distrust in our institutions. So you better not question election results, but hey, we're going to question election results. Now, this story, Chuck Schumer, so in Pennsylvania, the story is Chuck Schumer is slammed for not inviting McCormick to orientation day as Casey rushes to reverse loss. In Pennsylvania, a state that flipped for Trump, flipped red, incumbent Bob Casey lost to David McCormick. And there are still over 100,000 ballots left to be counted, apparently. But Casey won't concede. I'm going to check this right now and just see. All right. So, I mean, it's still... Here, I'll show it to you. Let me show you. Hold on, please. Hold on. Hold your horses. Let's see. Here we go. All right. So we are at... Where am I? There I am. Look at the little me get a littler. All right. So here's where we're at right now. Pennsylvania has counted 98.7% of the expected vote. This is according to the Associated Press. Now, McCormick is up 3,371,062 votes. Casey, 3,335,940 votes. Okay, it's neck and neck. But 98.7% of the expected vote has been counted. It has been called for Dave McCormick. Yep, there may be more votes to count, but it is unlikely that Bob Casey will get his seat back. Dude, you're a psycho. You're a psycho little biting kitten, dude. Kittens are all psycho. Kittens are all little psycho. Ow! Really? Dude, don't bite me that hard, you little butt. Pepita, you need to go play with one of their cats and not bite the... Dude, she bit me so freaking hard. What's crazy about if you think about cats are like... They're literally little serial killers where they'll be all sweet and stuff, and then they like... They just, on impulse, they have to kill. Like, they're just little murder machines. And right now, like, kittens are just little murderers in training. And she's being a little murderer in training. Now, come here, you little butt. I'm going to hold you right here. I need to put you in a kitten straitjacket, like this. by giving you a smush. Smush, 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 smush. You're going to bite my face, aren't you? Oh, your eyes are closed. You're so cute. Oh, she's so happy. I could eat her little head. Eat it off. You're so cute. You're going to make somebody so happy. Well, let's hope that person has a freaking cat, because otherwise you're going to be miserable to live with. If you have an overly aggressive cat or a psychotic kitten, key to having a happy life is get them a friend. Which I hope Pepita goes to a house with a friend. Otherwise, she'll be miserable. She does play with my older cats, but sometimes she just prefers to bite the crap out of me and my wife and my kids. Now, Schumer is slammed for not inviting McCormick to orientation day as Casey rushes to reverse loss. Now, since Casey will not concede, there's still 100,000 votes left to be counted as of November 10th. So we're basically at the end. It's been called. McCormick is the guy. Chuck Schumer will not allow McCormick to come to the orientation for new senators, because Chuck Schumer is currently the speaker. He's the Senate Majority Leader, and this kitten is going to kill me. She's going to shred me right up. With over 100,000 ballots left to be counted in PA, the race has not been decided. As is custom, we will invite the winner once votes are counted. Of course he says that, even though it's been called. Now, the Republicans, rightfully, are calling them out for hypocrisy. Tom Cotton says Senator-elect Dave McCormick won. Chuck Schumer's shameful election denying decision to block McCormick from the Senate orientation shows Schumer's true character. Marco Rubio says Schumer not allowing Dave McCormick to participate in Senate orientation this week because Casey refuses to concede the race. What happened to all the demands of our leaders to accept the outcome of the elections? John Thune, one of the guys up for Senate Majority Leader Dave McCormick, is the new senator from PA. The idea that Schumer won't allow him to participate in Senate orientation is beyond unacceptable. The voters of Pennsylvania have spoken, looking forward to having Dave's strong voice in the Senate Republican Conference. Rick Scott, Dave McCormick is the senator-elect, and Senator Schumer's move to not allow him to participate in orientation this week is disgusting. They did the same thing to me after I beat a Democrat in 2018. We have to fight this. Now, pretty wild. He says that happened in 2018. AP did call it for McCormick. It's only acceptable if Democrats do it, though. It literally is. I know it's mind-blowing. You want to sit there and they're so hypocritical. You want to get so infuriated about the hypocrisy. They don't care about hypocrisy. They don't see it that way. They understand they're coming across as hypocritical. The issue with the Democratic Party is it is an elitist institution where they think they are literally right about everything and are never wrong about anything. They sincerely think that. The idea that Trump questioning election results is a threat to democracy, or that we have to protect our precious democracy, but then they question election results and they undemocratically overthrow the chosen political candidate for president and Joe Biden and install another one undemocratically. Well, guess what? That's a violation of democracy, but they don't care because guess what they did it for? To save democracy, because only they know how to do it. After the election, there were lots of people on social media talking about how, well, it's just because the uneducated people, all the educated people voted for Democrats. Right? And somehow that makes you better than all of us because you got some state-sanctioned college education that you're making us pay off for you. Well, I didn't vote for the Democrats. I have a master's degree and a PhD and a bachelor's degree. So all the uneducated people only voted for him, huh? I didn't vote for freaking Kamala Harris. It's for damn sure. So you tell me that only the educated people support her. Yeah, okay. You wonder why you lost. You wonder if people think you come across like an elitist piece of crap. It's because you are. And so it's okay in Schumer's mind to deny McCormick the ability to do that because they're Democrats. He's right about everything. They're right all the time. What is that thing? What is that saying by Reagan? It's not that. Oh, now I want to find it. Hold on. I gotta find this. I have to find the saying. One sec. So the saying here by Ronald Reagan goes, the trouble with our liberal friends is not that they're ignorant. It's just they know so much that isn't so. Which is just, dude, that's it. It's priceless. Like, you're correct. But they don't see it that way. They think they're right about everything. So it's okay for them to question election results. It's okay for them to deny this guy the ability to do his orientation. It's okay for them to wait for the election to be called. It's okay for them to collect money to try and, it's okay for them to collect money and try to have recounts. It's okay for them to have riots in the middle of a pandemic. But if you do it because you're protesting the overreach of government, you do it. You're a super spreader. You're a threat to democracy. But if it's protesting something they believe in, that's acceptable. Whatever their issue trumps the virus. That's how they think, right? It's okay, not okay for you to censor them, but if they censor you, it's to protect democracy, to protect the United States of America, because anybody that dissents from us is wrong. We're right about everything. That's the problem. That's why they got trounced in this election, because they're so right about everything, but they've done a terrible job being right about everything. Like they know everything that they need to know. Everything is they're right about everything, but their knowledge has done nothing but destroy this country further. Now, last story here. This is from Reclaim the Net, which is they talk about things like internet censorship, what have you. It's a great site. Check it out. I sign up for their emails. I sign up for 100. Like, I swear, I have like 100 email newsletters that get in every day. Like, I get Real Clear Politics, and I get Zero Hedge, and I get Reclaim the Net, and I get Mises, and I get Breitbart. I mean, I get them all. So this is just one of the many I get. But this is from reclaimthenet.org, and the title is A License to Censor, the Fierce Fight Over the GEC's Renewal. Now, originally, the Global Engagement Center was established to help the United States combat foreign propaganda. It's actually something created by the State Department, and it is the brainchild of it's down here. Oh, no. Where'd you go? Oh no. All right. It is the brainchild of. Oh, come on. Where did it go? One sec. I gotta find the. Okay, so. I just read it. One sec. There it is. I found it. I know I read it earlier. So, John Cornyn, who is up for Senate Majority Leader, and Chris Murphy, so Republican and a Democrat duo, co-parented the agency, Global Engagement Center. And Global Engagement Center is actually something that is also beloved by Paul Nakasone. So who's the guy? He's a former NSA director who's actually the head of OpenAI, so ChatGPT. He's in favor of the GEC. And the Global Engagement Center is up for renewal right now. And what they do is they protect they protect your free speech, and they also protect you from foreign propaganda, but they do it often by censoring people, and they may overstep the line here and there. They tend to flag content and blacklist content online. It says here they try to they got to maintain internet integrity. So they may start censoring dissenting opinions, and they may start flagging stuff in a way that is, in a way to censor anybody who is anti-establishment. I mean, this is a State Department entity, okay? Now, let's think about this, because remember that, so the Global Engagement Center has a mission of unmasking foreign propaganda. It goes after Russia, China, and other state-sponsored actors. Now, what did they have to say about Donald Trump during the entire election? He is a Russian asset. Many of the things you hear is Russian propaganda. Remember, they went after Tenet Media, and Tenet Media was just, they were like hosting some videos of prominent conservatives, like it was like Tim Pool, Benny Johnson, people like that, and they were claiming that, like, because Tenet Media was a Russian company, that they were they were Russian propagandists. So when you have entities like this that can flag things as propaganda, what happens when you start claiming your political opponents are propagandists for Russia or propagandists for whoever? I have no, maybe they've done a few good things here and there. I don't know. But I care about free speech. I care about free speech first and foremost, and I don't want any entity whatsoever flagging what people say as misinformation, disinformation, propaganda, what have you, because foreign propaganda is far less what concerns me over domestic propaganda, and we have a lot of that going on, and the domestic propagandists, aka the media, they don't get flagged for anything, and they lie on both sides of their freaking faces all the time. So why is it, why does it only usually conservative stuff or libertarian stuff or anti-establishment stuff that gets flagged, blacklisted, banned, what have you? We know for a fact that our government has gone to social media companies to have them, go after accounts on social media. So why would they stop? Why would an entity like this not do that? This is something that needs to be watched. And you have to understand, a guy that's up for the Senate Majority Leader is actually one of the co-sponsors of this whole ordeal. There are people saying that it is it's just a state-sanctioned tool to censor really anybody that they flag. And like what this says here, what role should the government play in policing information? I say none. There's been viral videos going around. I don't know how old they are, but Trump saying things like he wants to go after anybody who is going to try to police speech for mis or disinformation, which is absolutely what needs to happen. Now, people on the left will be like, well, because he says so many things that are disinformation and misinformation. So what if that's true? Because you all do it too, like to the exponent of 1,000,000. Okay, so I don't want to hear it. You're just it's like it's okay when they do it. Okay, it's okay when they sow dis and misinformation because they're doing it for your own good. Because we're right about everything. Okay, so here you have it. This is just the way it is. Like you're going to offer up the government the opportunity to police speech, which shouldn't happen. They have no business doing that. So check out all these articles here when I send out the newsletter tomorrow. Link will be below to find that. You can get it to the inbox or just check out the website, check out the app, whatever. I'm officially exhausted. Now, Pepita here is officially exhausted finally. She has stopped biting me. Haven't you? Here, let me pull her up on full screen so you can see the cuteness one more time. As a way to ask you, please, if you think that Pepita is cute and you want to help my channel grow, to make Pepita happy, you should like my channel, subscribe to my channel, comment, give me some love, give Pepita some love, right? Because we need sane voices in this world that we can all join up together and rebuild this thing to do the right thing and push actual America's foundational values, which is what this is about. And yes, I'm a crazy cat person. So this is once again Pepita, who is adorable and sleeping in my hand now. And if you think that she's cute, you should subscribe and tell other people to subscribe too. So, all right. Well, I will be back Wednesday. And the newsletter with other links will be out tomorrow. In the meantime, have a great, safe week. Enjoy that the time that the election's over. Hopefully, these primetime NFL football games are not too painful for you. This one seems to be okay. Lions actually won last night after Jared Goff's 5-interception game, which I was amazed by. I went to bed when they were down like 23-7. And when I woke up, they had won. So I was blown away. But that's neither here nor there. Everybody have a great night. I will be back with you Wednesday. And I wonder what will happen between now and then. All right. Bye.